So as good a place as any to do a little review on this bike. Notice how she jumps to the side when you twist the throttle. Quite nice. Good. So, Moto Guzzi V7. Decent sounding exhaust. We'll give this bike a rest. So, let's do a quick, unbiased, I'm not a professional reviewer, but let's do a quick review on this bike. I bought this bike September 17 and didn't actually pick it up until April 18 because, you know, it's winter. And I had to get a couple of things sorted out first. But nonetheless, it's a 2017 Moto Guzzi V7 and a Viserio, which basically means that it's the 50th anniversary edition of the V7 that was introduced back in 1967. And you know, the company has quite a history. They have been building motorcycles an awful long time. I've actually heard that they set a few records for doing, you know, being in business as long as they have. I'm not sure exactly what records those were. I heard that the V7 was actually quite famous for being the first mass-produced motorcycle to break 200 kilometers an hour, which is kind of strange because this one won't break 200k, and I'm not going to go that fast anyways, but nonetheless, it's got quite a history, and this is quite a nice addition. I got this particular edition because I wanted a number of things on it, specifically this lovely leather seat. I plan on doing a bit of touring with this, and despite the fact that a leather seat's going to require a little bit more maintenance, you know, in the form of the leather treatments and that, I thought it would be, you know, I thought it'd be a bit more comfortable, because an aftermarket seat probably would have cost me about 300-400 pounds. So the leather seat is very, very comfortable. There's nothing wrong with the vinyl seat that the other bike came with, but I just chose this one. I liked the chrome. I thought it was kind of cool. I'm not a blingy type of person, but nonetheless, you know, the chrome was all right. I had concerns that it was gonna reflect back at me when I was riding, and I've had it out in a bit of sun, like today, and there doesn't seem to be too much reflection. Sorry for the bike being as dirty as it is, but I had it out in the rain last weekend. It was a good ride nonetheless. I did cover the seat, but as I say, I didn't have a chance to clean the bike up, so it's not quite as clean as it could be, but no big deal. It's a motorcycle, not a Rolex watch. V7, 744cc, V-twin, 90 degrees. It's old school. It doesn't have, you know, twin cams and all that stuff. It's got 2 valves per cylinder. Brake horsepower, 52 brake horsepower. Torque, I believe, is somewhere around 45 foot-pounds range. Apparently, from what I've read and from what I can feel, it's got a fairly flat torque curve. It's got pretty good acceleration. I've read the bike will do 0 to 100k in just over 5 seconds, which is quick, but it's certainly nothing like a sport bike, you know, like some sort of a 600 Suzuki or Kawasaki or, you know, KTM or something like that. But nonetheless, it's got good acceleration for kicking around, you know, a city like London. Definitely no problems on the motorway. It cruises along quite nicely at 65-70, although, you know, I'm not particularly keen on doing that right now because you know, the wind buffeting is quite severe. When I do some touring myself, I don't exactly feel like hanging on. So the handlebars, I don't think need any adjusting. maybe they could be adjusted a bit, but I think a little windshield that GV sells for about 80 or 90 pounds, I think will mount quite nicely on this bike, and it will go up to about there, which will cut majority of the wind in front of my body, and it'll make it a lot more user-friendly on the open road, because as I say, I plan on doing some touring with this bike. I plan on taking it down to Cyprus and Spain and Italy and places like that. I don't want to be exhausted after I ride 100 miles. So I think a small fairing or a windscreen, fly screen, perhaps about to here, would definitely be in order. Okay, what else can we say about this bike? It's kind of cool looking. It handles nice. Apparently the third series of this bike, which this one is, it's a V7.3. This is the third series, and it has somewhat different